In 2023, help yourself to delicious, convenient recipes that support your healthy lifestyle and taste good too. Eat well in the new year without sacrificing taste. Go to greenchef.com/Blaire60 and use code Blaire60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. The fatties are at it again, girl. Twitter erupts over claim the word obese is a slur used to dehumanize and harass us. So, this is the tweet that went viral. The term obese is a slur because it is used to dehumanize us and harass us. It's not because our feelings are hurt by an accurate description. It is an outdated term that does more harm than good. And as such, it should be eradicated. That's it. Now, gotta love Elon Musk's Twitter because a tweet like this would have never been fact checked before. But it's a new day from his Twitter. So Twitter came through with a fact check. Saying obese is a technical term. According to the World Health Organization, overweight and obesity are defined as abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that presents a risk to health. So, yeah, it's a medical term, and claiming that it's like meant to harass you, no one cares so much about you. It's not that deep. It's really not that deep. I mean, here's the thing. I've like thought a lot about the fat positivity movement and all that shit. And I don't get mad at them. I actually just feel really bad for them because I know in some ways what it's like to be unhappy with your body. Obviously, trans is very different, but in a lot of ways, working to change your body to something that you feel comfortable with is something I do relate to, right? Let's say it like that. And it is hell to be in a body that you feel like isn't what you want to show to the world, isn't how you want to walk the world, isn't who you want to be. And so I think that this is massive cope, no pun, but it's big cope. You know what I'm saying? Because I genuinely don't believe that anyone who is obese is happy about being obese. I guess some fetishists maybe, but it's like there's no way you physically feel great. And so when people jump onto this movement, I do feel like it's, cope. Here's another tweet. The term obese is a slur, violent, dehumanizing, and it's anti-Black. Excuse me? Girl, how is it anti-Black? Like, we're not even gonna, we're gonna start with the anti-Black part. Do you think being obese is like an inherently Black thing? Because that's a little, I would assume, insulting. Pretty sure anyone can be obese, except Asians. I've never really seen an obese Asian. I know they exist, but there's no way they're as common as people of other races. Go figure, they eat differently, right? They're not eating like white people, like Cheetos in Arizona's every day, or like Black people, whatever Black people eat that's bad, right? It's just like they don't do that. Like the stuff that Asians eat is healthy for the most part. So anti-Black, to say that as if it's inherently a Black thing being obese, and then violent. Tell me you've never been slapped without telling me you've never been slapped. This is when people talk about violence and silence is violence and this is violence and that's violence. Tell me you've never actually experienced violence, because that's what you're saying. Maybe you need to get slapped. I don't know, because I'm pretty sure. The thing is, like, I've had my shit rocked, so like I would never call something violence that isn't. Like, I've been punched in the face. So like I know what is and what isn't. Anyway, I just feel bad for these ladies. They're always ladies, by the way. Men never seem to hop on this bandwagon, at least straight men. So here's a doozy. Twitter was pressured by Pfizer to suppress posts questioning COVID vax efficacy in the new Twitter files. And of course, people in the States like to point at places like Miss China, Miss North Korea, Miss Ghana, these countries that are flooded with propaganda, that, oppress people via information, that don't allow people on certain websites to use certain social media apps, and that have a narrative of propaganda that is antithetical to reality. Are we going to keep pretending like America's not that? Because that's what it is. I saw someone on Instagram posting like a link to this article, and it was like, China caught banning users on social media for spreading COVID misinformation. And my knee-jerk thing was like, yeah, it's China, ew. And then I was like, That's exactly what has happened and is happening and continues to happen here. Um, I don't know why I'm laughing, because it's actually a crime against humanity. On the list of people that were being censored by Pfizer, Tommy Lahren, there's a thing about her having her tweets, targeted by Pfizer. And it's like, where are all the anti-corporation liberals at? Why should Pfizer be able to censor what is said and happens in the public square? A corporation. Where's all the anti-big pharma liberal? Where are you? And by the way, I saw a tweet from Mike Cernovich first of all, I love Mike Cernovich. He be tweeting stuff that I'm just like, yes. And he's very elevated in my mind. Like, a lot of stuff he says is like, it's not just typical like right-wing bullshit. He said that something along the lines of, kind of interesting how anyone can call themselves anti-big pharma while giving their kids Ritalin. Ding, ding, ding. Not to say there's no children who need medication for issues, right? But if you're denying that there is not an over-medicalization of children in this country, whether it's antidepressants, whether it's puberty blockers, whether it's, popping this pill because the kid's sad, it's like, that's a huge thing in this country. And, the idea that a corporation gets to, again, censor what is said and what isn't said based on their own financial gain. Like, maybe this is it. Maybe people in their minds think that Pfizer is full of like angels who swooped in to save the world from this just crazy, crazy virus. They're full of money hungry corporate animals like any other corporation. They will go to whatever lengths to sell their product. And if you think that that's anything but true, I don't know what world you're living in. I would like to maybe visit that world. It would sometimes be nice to believe that corporations and the people above you have the best of intentions, but they don't. They don't. Very sad that we have a culture that worships medicine in the way that it does right now. Speaking of, here's another story corresponding with that. CBS News: children struggling with obesity should be evaluated and treated early and aggressively, including with medications for kids as young as 12 and surgery for those as young as 13, according to new guidelines released Monday. I would like to know why the health experts never actually give any advice about health. You would think that in extreme cases, perhaps a weight loss surgery would be appropriate for a child. I mean, granted, that should be very rare. And we're talking like if they are obese, right? But the fact that exercise and healthy eating doesn't even come into play, isn't even mentioned. It's literally just about, go figure, drugs and surgery, things that bring them money. Do you think scientists can't be bought out? Do you think scientists can't be purchased? Just like politicians can be purchased? Do you think that there's no one who stands to gain by giving the advice that these kids should be, oh, maybe you should be on this pill. Maybe you should do this surgery that costs tens of thousands of dollars. It's just crazy how gullible people are. Like, I can't. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm not saying that there are no cases where an extremely obese child should probably be placed on some sort of medication to aid the weight loss efforts in conjunction with healthy eating and exercise. But the fact that healthy eating and exercise doesn't even come up on the list, it's almost like healthy eating and exercise doesn't give them money. Very sad. Whenever I see like obese children, I really feel bad for them, right? They're almost always with obese parents as well. And I just feel like, man, if you can't keep your kid safe and healthy, you probably shouldn't be a parent. I mean, an obese child, I'm not talking about chunky. I'm talking about obese. Get it together. Please, because no one's going to get it together for you. I want that to be my new little tagline. Get it together because no one's going to get it together for you. The child certainly isn't their child. Hey, if you guys enjoyed that short clip from the podcast, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel as well as my main channel and watch the full episode, which will be somewhere on the screen.